Werewolf by Night is the new Halloween special that Disney Plus dropped. And I saw the trailer for this thing, and I didn't really know what to think. Reactions have been really good, but I didn't really pay attention to that because Marvel reactions to everything is pretty good for the most part. Unless it's like people whining about nothing. Like everybody was whining about how horrible Thor Love and Thunder is, and I'm just like, well, there's been worse Marvel products, and I didn't think it was that bad of a movie. So I don't really go by early reviews and stuff, but this one did have me curious, especially since we heard that it was all going to be black and white, which I gotta say, that's one of the best parts about this special. It adds to the horror and also allows them to get away with a lot of violence. You can very much tell that if this was in color and not in black and white, this would be probably an R-rated project with the amount of blood and gore in this special, which is oh so delightful as a fan of blood and gore. Um, but yeah, the special was really good. I like the black and white aesthetic, not just because oh it's reminiscent of old movies, but the way they replicated it was just really gorgeous. And again, added to the violent tone because you can't show it in color, otherwise it would not be allowed in Disney Plus. But that's fine. Uh, but that violent aesthetic worked for it, and then it's also like the black and white aesthetic. The way they recreated is just incredible. With like they had like cigarette burns or like kind of grainy. You know, they really did a lot to make it look and feel exactly like an old project back in the day. Also, um, the just this is a very unique special with just how it's directed. The cinematography is really great. The score to this thing is actually pretty good, surprisingly, which I actually shouldn't be too surprised because the director of this thing is Michael Giacchino, and he's a composer and has love for music. So I'm sure that for him, music is something that he takes very seriously when he's creating his own music, right, for films. But now that he's directing, it's something that he will take seriously in his own films that he directs and not just other people's projects. And so that's really neat to see. It's really neat to see Michael Giacchino, this incredible composer, be able to pull off direction incredibly well. It makes me want to see him direct an actual real horror movie or a real film in some sense. Not to say this isn't a real film, but this is like an hour, less than an hour. It's like an hour 55 minutes, something like that. So it's not too long. And I think most people's complaints with this that there wasn't enough of it. And I kind of agree with that. Then you also get Man Thing in this special, which is a pretty big highlight, and everybody's been loving, including myself. I've loved Man Thing before I even saw him in the special, but a lot of people are going to see him in the special and love him. But I loved him way before that, and I was really excited to see him in this special. And the character, so weird, bizarre, but interesting, and it's just nice to see him make a cool cameo in this special, do some cool stuff. But yeah, Werewolf by Night, great special. Definitely worth a watch. I think my only complaint about it is I don't see this being a part of the MCU at any point, in the sense that it's going to cross over with the other Marvel's projects. But there's a chance it will, but just to be honest, I don't really see it, which I think will be a mistake on Marvel's part. But this is a great special, and you definitely should watch it. But who knows? Maybe it'll cross over with Blade. That seems kind of likely, I guess. But this is a really good special.